Hello and welcome to another week in the studio. I look ridiculous because I am very cold right now and I'm double bundling. Don't judge me. I think it's time to clean up the studio because it looking a mess, especially my palettes. They just need to be cleaned up. Things need to be put away so I can kind of reset my brain a little. When things are a little too chaotic, I can't think properly. Some people like to thrive in the chaos. I shrivel up and die. I need to organize. And it snowed once again. See like the little critters that traipse around in the backyard. Look at this guy. He's going all the way into the woods back there. I'm watching you. Water. There's a loose razor bit somewhere. So we're all cleaned up, everything's been put away and reset for new adventures and new creation. My goal for this week is to come up with more sources that I can then use to create more paintings and expand, my portfolio of work. I don't know if I've shown you this before. I have a whole thing of canvas just sitting right there. Don't mind that balloon, it just floated up here for some reason. I have a whole bunch of canvas over here that needs to be dealt with, and by dealt with, I mean make into beautiful paintings and art. And also those over there, I'm going to repurpose those for more artwork as well. I think it's going to get pretty busy around here, especially now that I have a website. It's got all my products on it. I have a storefront that I really like. It's just a matter of making more stuff, putting it on my store, and then repeating the process. So on to the next thing. Good morning. Today, I'm going to go in a different direction. Whenever I'm kind of stuck on figuring out what to paint next, usually I need to come up with sources, some idea or inspiration. But I'm feeling sluggish on that too. I think what I'm going to do is just to start making something, just start putting something together and kind of see where it takes me. And I'm going to try that first with watercolor paper so I can have a little more wiggle room to play and see where it takes me. And we got deckled edges. So I'm setting up a little tripod here. Because I'm always trying to make a lot of art at once and having to draw everything from scratch every single time, it takes up a lot of my time and it just slows down the process of me getting started. I found this app called DaVinci Eye, which uses basically cameras and a little bit of augmented reality, quickly trace something from an image to paper, and then from there I can go do my shading and all of that. It just cuts down my process down significantly. I haven't actually tried this yet, and one of the things that I need for it is a tripod. I pulled out the old tripod that I had and setting that back up again. Hopefully it'll work. This is like a little too high, but I feel like this doesn't want to slide down like it used to. Come on. There. This is my setup. I have my phone with the source image over the paper, and that's the source image right there. It's really hard to see from screen to screen for some reason. Basically, I just follow what I see down here and trace it onto here. Hopefully that'll work. Not bad at all. That is really neat. Now, I never recommend tracing when you're just learning how to draw. It's really a tool. It's really just to help you kind of figure out proportion-wise where everything is quickly so you're not reinventing the wheel every single time. I've been drawing faces and drawing for many years now. It's just a matter of being more efficient and getting the ball rolling. This is my important assistant throughout the day. I try to drink at least 2 of these to stay hydrated. So I just did like a drawing session where I placed a lot of images that I thought would go well together. I'm just feeling really drained from doing that activity for some reason. Instead of just wallowing in the drainage, I'm going to switch over to a new activity slash thing I need to look into, which is checking on the warpage issue with my previous painting, Bringer of Spring. In the previous video, we talked about how warped it was, and I might need to explore doing a frame. Still warped. Before I do a frame, I figured I would string it up and hang it up and actually see if it's really bad. Because if it's not that bad, then I'm not going to do the frame. Here we go. Let's try it out. The plan is to take this with some wire hanging on the back, put it on the wall, and really see how warped this is. If it's not bad, we're gonna keep it. The tape measure. All right, let's do some math. It's 10 inches. Oh, I love it when math is easy. Here are my D-rings. We're gonna go and screw in these suckers. God grant me the patience. I just forget how to do this part. Got a YouTube video for this. I keep forgetting how to do it.
Going down through. Pulling it up. Then you're going to cross.
Okay, there we go. Down, up, and then through the loop. Okay. That's how you do a wire hanging. Now let's test it out. This side's looking pretty flush to the wall, which is good. That's what we like. Then you come on this side. Son of a gun. I mean, it doesn't look too terrible, honestly. It's just that side is warped, and if I didn't want to be a complete perfectionist about it, then I probably would just leave it as is, but that's gonna bother me, and I want to have it being flush to the wall. That's just what I want. Back to the studio. Yeah, I still haven't heard back from the gallery yet. I'm gonna hear back on Friday though. That's when I'll make the final choice on whether to do a frame or not. But I'm glad I did the wiring at least. That part's done. It's such a pain to do, so I'm glad it's out of the way and over with. Hi there. I'm coming in real hot right now because I just saw the gallery finally posted the accepted works list. I haven't looked at it yet. I figured you would watch with me and see my initial reaction. Hopefully it's better this time. If I don't make it, that's okay. All right, here we go. Let's screen record my disappointment when I don't get in. All right, here we go. LMNOP. I didn't make it. Again. I really thought I had it this time. I'm bummed. Think I'm gonna just take a little break. It's gonna be okay. I'm just disappointed. And it always feels like whenever I don't get into a gallery that, you know, I failed in some way. I'm trying to bring this plant back to life. It's a spider plant. I got it as a gift from my mother-in-law. I got this about, I want to say 2 years ago, and this poor plant has gone through hell and back. I've transported it into several areas of my house, but I just keep forgetting to water it. I'm a terrible plant owner. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better. The problem was, this spider plant just never was in a room that was well lit. I put it in the front part of our house, but the front part of our house is south facing, north facing, so it doesn't get a lot of sunlight. Maybe what I'll do instead is actually transfer this into the studio. That way I have some greenery, get some fresh air, and also this window is on the south side, so it's gonna get constant sunlight. Put it on this window a couple days ago, and it already seems to be perking up just a little bit. I'm just gonna keep it over there by the window and try to be a better plant mom. It's got some good hair. So just to check in, hi, you're really high up. Let's adjust you because I feel like being on the floor today. The last time I checked in, I had just found out that my painting, which is right over here, did not get accepted into an upcoming gallery show, which sucks. And I felt this tiny twinge of being unworthy, my art just being like a joke, and that it just wasn't good enough. The thing I don't like about these gallery submissions is that they'll take your money. I have to submit these pieces and pay, a fee to do so, and they'll take your money, no problem, but they won't give you feedback. They don't let you know this is why it didn't get accepted. And it's understandable, I suppose, because they're dealing with those hundreds of other artists who are submitting just like I am. But I don't know, there's just like a tiny part of me that's like, I want to have my art shown. I'm paying a fee to be eligible to do that. At least I would like some sort of feedback, just so I know what can I do better next time, because I have literally no idea. I'm just throwing things into the void and seeing what pops back out. And of course, that costs money. And in some cases, money does make the world go round, especially if you want to get your art shown. It's expensive, but it's okay. I'm okay, I'm doing fine. I just came out of a 4-day weekend with my kids and my husband, and it was a whirlwind of a weekend, and I was able to kind of bounce back from that and kind of get over that hurdle of feeling rejected. And here's the conclusion I came to. If I have to leave the fate of my paintings for them to be seen, for them to even have the possibility of being sold, up to somebody else who's a judge or who's the gatekeeper behind a gallery, I'm setting myself up for that disappointment when I don't get in, because I'm leaving it up to somebody else to decide that for me. I think this is just proving to me that I know my art is good, I know there's an audience for it, and I know it needs to find a good home, and we just need to find each other, right? I think I need to stop putting so much stock in the fact that I didn't get into a gallery, my work must not be good. Just leaving it up to the discretion of one judge who looks at that painting and decides it's not a good fit because X, Y, and Z. It could have been it was too big. It could have been, who knows? I just wish they gave me feedback, that's all. I'm not bitter at all. Let this be a lesson to me that I need to take power back into my own hands. I need to take control of the situation. And if I leave it up to somebody else to say that my art is good or not for a gallery show, just so it's able to be seen by X amount of other people, that's not for me. Not to say I won't do any more gallery submissions, but I think I'm going to approach that with more of that kind of mindset. So there we go. Painting is looking much better now. I just did some touch-ups here and there on the sides as well to give it that final complete look. I'm gonna wait for that oil paint to cure, and then after that we'll give it a varnish and it'll be ready to go to its new home. So while that is drying, I'm gonna move to this painting over here. It's a watercolor on watercolor paper, but you see how bent and warped it is. So I'm gonna do a little trick to get it nice and flat so that I can photograph it later and then post it to my website for sale. It's so beautiful too. It came out wonderfully. Let's get to it. So that is all for today's vlog. Thank you so much for spending time with me in the studio, listening to my rantings and ravings and general bad hootery. That's not even a word. I will see you next time for more art shenanigans. Bye!